Oh yeah. So
You missed it,
you
though.
you had a dad that actually was willing to come pick you up?
Oh yeah, well, so I also knew who he was, and he was around before he died.
Uh, that sounds nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do I have to hit the
Well,
button early? Like really? Like this
I-
early? I don't want to.
I was waiting for you to
Can.
start recording. Listen, my first car accident, I didn't get yelled at by my dad because he wasn't around. But my mom, it's funny, this conversation just came up today. I almost died in my first car accident, shockingly enough, because I hit a patch of black ice on the road,
Ooh, wow.
fishtailed
Why
around
is it
it
gotta
off
be black ice, Chuck?
because I couldn't see it on the road. It's called black ice. I don't know, man. Um, I just screamed "kill Whitey" right before it almost ran. I lost control. I don't know. I swerved around an oncoming truck, went into a ditch. My foot was at this point fully on the accelerator, like to the floor, because I was bracing for the impact. We
Mm-hmm.
launched up out of the ditch, rolled it 3 times, landed on the wheels, and because my foot was still on the accelerator, we drove directly into a tree.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Uh,
guys, this is a recap from another episode that we've done here.
yeah, probably. It's almost like we went back to the future, part 2. Brothers, sisters, gender resistors. Welcome to another episode of the Comic Book Rundown presents Rundown Reviews. I, of course, am the man that did this introduction and give you that hot knee action.
Yeah.
I am Chuck. And I'm joined once again by the comrade, my cohort, my co-conspirator, more importantly, the CEO, editor-in-chief, supreme ruler, reptilian overlord of the Comic Book Rundown, Joseph Janero.
That's me.
And Ron's here. The
Hey,
man who counts many titties.
I mean, there were some titties out at the party last night, so
Shocker.
There's all we
does
almost got.
happen.
Yeah, that
It
sounds
does.
like a Ron. I'm a little. Why didn't I get an invite?
I did invite you, mother chucker. All right.
You did?
Oh yeah.
What's
Oh,
this?
who's not looking at their Facebook invites this time, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is this the Jalloween?
Yeah.
I definitely did not get an invite for Jalloween this year
Then how'd you know what it was called?
because you
got
invited to
an
me
invite,
last year.
motherfucker.
No, because you invited to me last year, and I said last year I said, oh, if I get invited, I'll go this year. But it just happened to be on the same. It's always on the same weekend as my mom's birthday.
So bring your mom. I don't give a shit.
Oh no. Okay.
That's also a long drive. From
It is.
Yeah,
That's why he's allowed to stay, you know.
No, I'm not locking myself in the car for what was it?
16 hours?
I think it was 16
hours?
hours to Illinois. Yeah, something like
Yep,
that. Would
to
seem-
Illinois.
All right.
Yep.
So this right here, I don't know if you can see that or not, but that's you right there where it says invited. Because you were invited, Chuck.
It never came up on my events page. I just checked my events page recently.
That's because it happened yesterday, so it's no longer on the events page.
No, I checked it a few days ago. I don't know, man.
Either way.
Either way, I wasn't invited, and my feelings are hurt about it. So
Yeah, you missed it too because I was dressed up like Popeye.
Oh, were you?
that's
Yeah,
terrifying. Dang, I missed some titties.
you did.
You know what I didn't miss though? Convoluted
Rock
time
hard
travel
'90s
stories.
tits on Leah Thompson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, it was
I
pretty
mean,
sweet.
80s.
80s
Technically,
tits, but yeah,
this came out in 89.
Yeah,
close
something
enough.
better than the only thing more rock hard than 90s tits or 80s tits. So
So was this a different Jennifer?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
And
Did they-
different, George McFly.
Well, yeah, I knew that one.
Because Crispin Glover did not want to do a sequel.
really, they did not.
So-
I thought that was the same one.
No, they just did
Nope.
a really good job. of
But
making
they
it look like him.
use him.
I think they used him in like one scene. I think the scene in
It's when he
in
goes
the-
back in time. In the
in the
50s.
dance, like in the either the very beginning, when it's Marty looks over at his parents and they're in the doorway and they turn around and walk away, or it's in the at the dance in the past, and he's dancing by the punch bowl. It's one of those two scenes because
It's the dancing by the punch bowl one.
because
That's a straight up cut from the first movie.
okay. Well, because again, it's one of those. I mean, that one looks similar. So does that one scene in the very beginning, because he did try and sue Universal for using his image, because the actor that they did use to replace him looks a lot like him, and I'm like, maybe did they actually use somebody, or was it just a stand-in? Because as I'm watching it, there are multiple times when it's just showing his back, or they're showing him from afar, so they're not like trying to get definition. So like the one point where Marty and Biff are talking, and then you have Marty and Lorraine and George in the background talking, and Marty and Biff are like standing by the door. So like you can't really make out who George, like his definition.
Yeah, but you can tell who.
So, like you can't really tell it's Crispin Glover, but you can kind of tell it's not. It's stuff like that. But there is a few moments where you do actually see his face, and you can tell it's not actually him.
Okay, so now my question is, the scenes where he's like back in 1955, where he's watching the scene happen, that's all reshot? They didn't use the original footage and then green screen him in?
A lot of it is reshot.
That's
a majority of it
really fucking impressive then, because I was like, oh, these are just the same exact scenes. They just green screened him in now. That's really impressive if they went back and just reshot it and got it that.
Well, they had to do a lot of them reshot
exact.
because they were from different angles than the original shots were done.
Exactly.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I just figured they had like previous angles already from like.
I mean, that would have been the smart thing to do if they would have known that they were doing.
And that's the thing, they didn't. Bob Gale, Robert Zemeckis had original plan to be one and done. He did not plan on having a sequel. He even said if he left the ending of the first one ambiguous for that reason, had he planned on there being more movies, like Universal wanted more movies, and had he planned on that happening, he would not have had Jennifer see the DeLorean. He would not have put Jennifer in the DeLorean. That's why he had to write a way to basically write her out and put her basically not anywhere.
Right.
Which kind of sucks because, she's not really part of the movie. I mean, yeah, she's not part of the movie, but like,
they just ditch her in the trash, which is the funniest thing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's fucked up.
Didn't have to. Like, you could have just left her in the DeLorean.
Exactly. But not only that, but like when they're talking about the future and she's all excited, Marty's sitting there like,
wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. Cool, Doc. So anyways, like
it gets even worse when she actually sees the future and they got married in the chapel love.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, you got married in Vegas. That sucks. Good job.
Well, it's also kind of funny.
That was after he had his accident, because he
sure, yes,
because he can't hear somebody call him chicken, which is the dumbest fucking thing. Like,
well, but masculinity in the 90s or 80s,
yeah, I guess. And Michael J. Fox is also a short ass little fucker.
Sure.
So
it's Napoleon complex for sure. Yeah. So okay. So my two biggest takeaways from this movie. One, Doc kind of a piece of shit, and that he gaslights Marty into thinking that he was the problem. When he was the one who went back or was in the future and then went back to the present and was like, you got to do something about your kids, Marty. And it's like, but why? They never actually explain what it is that his kids are. He's just like, oh, your kids go to prison. Your whole thing, Doc, was that we can't fuck with the fucking timelines.
Mhm.
Well, that was
That we
of
can't
course,
change it.
that was before he found out that Marty's kid was going to be a little shitlord, you know?
Well, and again, I think it was Zemeckis also said he never actually wanted to go into the future because actually let me pull that up because he actually had a real good reason why. In the DVD extras, Back to the Future 2, Robert Zemeckis had said that he really did not want the movie to take place in the future. That is because he felt that every time that a movie takes place in the future, it is mispredicted.
That's
Because it
true.
usually does, especially when you predict a future so close to the present.
Right?
You
Well,
know,
because it had to be within their timeline, their
correct.
life.
Their lifespan. Like,
Yeah.
and I get that. I understand that. But like,
No, that's what I'm saying. That's where the problem falls, is because it had to happen within their lifetime. Therefore, they couldn't jump it to, like, 2050 or something like that. It had to be 2015, where they would all still be, alive and, young enough to be doing anything.
yeah.
Also, where
Yeah.
the fuck are our hoverboards? We're 10 years behind.
Okay. So you want to know why? Here's the thing. To commemorate the release of the 30th anniversary Back to the Future trilogy Blu-ray and DVD release, a short movie called Back to the Future: Doc Brown Saves the World from 2015 was filmed with Christopher Lloyd reprising his role of Mount. In the movie, Doc tapes a video message explaining that he traveled to the 2040s in a rebuilt DeLorean and discovered that inventions such as the hoverboard and dehydrated food will cause people to become massively overweight. Even worse, a simultaneous glitch in every nuclear Mr. Fusion device on the planet will cause a nuclear holocaust that decimates the world's population. He subsequently travels back in time and successfully prevents such dangerous devices from ever being invented, thus explaining why the future 2015, as seen in the movie, did not come true in reality. I saw that. I'm like, that's pretty clever. I like that.
That is pretty good. So, did anybody notice in the diner that we got a little Frodo Baggins in there?
Yeah. Very young. This is actually Elijah Wood's first movie.
Yeah, that makes sense since he was like 3 years old or some shit. He was actually 25. He just always looks that small.
Yeah. He's always tiny. Yeah.
And of course, we got the Phantom in here again.
Yeah. With more,
which was funny as hell, seeing him in the cowboy hat and shit in the like fucked up
messed up timeline
80s. Yeah.
Which, I mean, so that was one of those things where that's the one thing that I don't understand. So obviously Doc's whole premise is they get back to the alternate timeline, and they have to, once they figure out where they have to get back to fix the timeline, they're like, all right, so when we fix it, everything will warp around Jennifer and Einstein, and it'll be like it never happened. They will have no memory of it.
How it would work, because they were dropped in this timeline down here.
Correct.
So what happened was they actually
gone.
they just got erased.
Exactly. Like that's my whole thing.
Yep.
Like,
also,
gone.
Here's another thing though. When did Biff get so smart that he would have been able to hatch this kind of plan, understand how the DeLorean worked, and get back without them noticing that the DeLorean was gone?
Well, Marty being dumb and walking away, first off.
With the fucking doors open like an idiot.
Yeah. Secondly, like, how did Biff be able to just pop in there and, oh, I know how this works. Beep, boop, boop, beep, boop.
Yeah.
Like, amazingly. Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Also, something else that was pretty funny was that, like, they've got all this modern technology and shit, but when Biff gets his receipt from the taxi, it's a paper receipt.
Well, I mean, look, even in that futuristic 2015, they didn't know how to go paperless. Actually, is it paper receipt? Because the receipt that Marty had was like even a plastic receipt.
He handed him a paper one out of the taxi.
Maybe the taxis haven't gone paperless.
I
got
Who
nothing.
knows?
I also, I've got written down that that Doc and Marty are like the two most self-centered people in the universe.
The most oblivious people in the world. I also have that in my notes.
Specifically, and once I thought about it a little bit, like, so mind you, when they dropped off Jennifer in the alternate timeline,
Marty's like, I don't remember there being iron or bars on these
windows.
Yeah.
And then,
but not just that though. Like when they're driving around, when they go to like Lyons Estates or whatever the fuck it is where Marty lives, and like everything,
all the houses are for sale or foreclosed on or basically being ransacked, like basically all demolished. Okay, now I was agreeing with you on this one. Now that being said, though, you have to remember in the new timeline, everything was all nice and modernized and a rich people's neighborhood, but they were literally there for one day. They wouldn't have time to realize, hey, everything is nice now. Before, everything wasn't as bad as that.
It was what would have bbeen like middle class for America back then.
But it wasn't
America still had a middle class.
Definitely wouldn't have been all the foreclosure signs.
No,
they should have still seen that
100%.
But yeah, they still are very.
But speaking of Marty and Doc being oblivious, when Marty is hiding in the back of Biff's car, and he keeps like sitting up and moving around and shit, if he would have just laid back there until the car stopped moving, right?
Yeah,
he'd have been able to snag the book like that.
But no, because Biff kept grabbing it.
Well, when Biff throws it in the window, right? If Marty would have been like laying down until that point and heard it hit the window, could have just got up, jumped out of the car, taken it with him, and gone. Because at that point in time, Biff's not going to be able to go back and get it, you know?
No, but he threw it in the window. He walked away, turned around as Marty's trying to grab it.
That's what I'm saying. Marty could have just grabbed it and gone.
Oh, okay.
Because he wouldn't have known it was Marty with the disguise on.
Yeah, the incognito. Oh, inconspicuous, as he said.
But even after that, like when they are driving down the road and like, Marty's stunt double definitely broke his legs on that tree. When he kicks the hoverboard up.
Oh, yeah.
But like even then, like when Marty is like trying to sneak around the car, like he could just say duck down and Biff would have never known he was there.
Yeah.
But instead he tries like opening the door.
Yeah, why
reach over top and just grab it and then go, since he already knew you were trying to get it, you know? Like, I don't know, it's freaking ridiculous.
No, Marty was being very stupid in a lot of this, and honestly doing the dumbest things. But what I have written down, basically doing the going out of the way to do the dumbest things possible the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Like instead of like the minute he gets the book, like he runs into the gym. Why'd you run into the gym? You didn't have to go into the gym. Oh, and now because you ran into the gym, Biff's guys see you on stage, and now they're gonna go beat your ass.
Yep.
The previous guys.
Which, like, also, he killed those guys. I hope they're on your kill count. No, because there's no way that they dropped those sandbags on their heads 3 times and did not kill them. Was it only twice? I thought it was 3 times.
Well, yeah, he dropped them on once, lifted up, and they lift their heads up and like, and drops on them again. And they were kind of still groggy.
They're definitely dead. Dude, those sandbags are like 50 pounds of heat.
I can add it, but like my thing is that they're standing there watching Marty on stage playing the guitar, while the other Marty is on the other side of the stage, standing there, and they're like, they don't see two Martys.
Nope, because
And just-
nobody in this movie has any kind of perception at all.
Apparently not. Yeah.
Chuck, you're awful quiet. Chuck?
He's muted. That's why.
Oh shit.
Also, speaking of being stupid, when Marty is in the back of the car, Biff's car, talking to Doc,
On the fucking walkie, like loud.
yeah, like how did he not hear that at all? Like
Well, that's why he
when
kept
it's-
fucking with the radio station.
well, when the radio's being all staticky and he's looking back, it's like, oh, okay, but like you're talking at loud volume and basically talking your whole plan out, and he can't hear that. What is going on? I just don't understand. There it is.
Hey, there we go.
There we go. I got it. Sorry.
Yeah, I just thought Chuck was being really quiet, but apparently he could have been talking this whole time and we just didn't hear him say a word.
Yeah.
I mean, I was trying to throw some things in there, and you all just kept talking over me, and now I get why.
Now you know why we did not hear you.
Yeah.
Oh shit. I think it's gonna be really funny. Somebody's gonna be watching the YouTube and they're just see Chuck's mouth moving with no sounds. Oh hell.
I also was curious why Marty, going back to the future or back in the very beginning of it, like when he's running on the hoverboard, being chased by Griff's goons, why'd he grab the rope on the
Instead of just holding on to the back
Yeah.
of the car? No idea.
Makes no sense. Yeah, I don't know.
Also, did the version of this that you guys watched have like a preview that basically tells the entire story of the last movie?
At the very end? Yeah.
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 I
that
couldn't in
was-
theaters.
yeah. Because they filmed this back to back. They filmed two.
Oh, I know that. I knew that, but I just don't understand why they put so much of it in there to where like the entire plot of the story now.
I mean, not the entire plot. He didn't talk about the love story between Doc and Clara
True.
for the most part.
But you got the fact that they went back to the Old West. You
Yeah.
got the fact that Marty ends up going back,
Yeah.
and the showdown with Mad Dog Tannen and all that shit.
Sort of. Not all of it.
But
You don't get why they have to steal a train.
True. All I'm saying is they could have just had it like one
They could have
shot
shown a
of the
couple
Old West,
things. Yeah.
and then we would have been like, "Oh, that's the next movie." Okay.
Yeah. I did think that was a fun little ending, having the Western Union guy show up and be like, "Hey, we've got this letter for you. It's been sitting in our vault for 70 years." That's a really cool ending.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's something that obviously has never been done before, especially, with the time travel movies, because time travel movies weren't really a huge thing. But no, it's just kind of really cool. Although, speaking of that, though, the weather being the reason why Doc couldn't land, I never really knew that was the reason why. Like, he had to go fly back around,
Which
come
didn't
in
make sense
from the
because
south,
when
and
he
then he just-
landed,
but like he didn't go flying around. He just kind of floated up there.
yeah,
And then got
not only
struck by
that, but
lightning.
when they got to the future, he was flying in the rain and
Yes,
storm.
but that was rain. It wasn't lightning. It wasn't like a thunderstorm.
I mean, I guess that makes sense since the DeLorean is all steel. Like he would just be like a conduit for,
But also, Marty is holding on to that rope from the moment that he gets picked up from the tunnel all the way to Lions of the States, however far that is. Maybe at some point, stop, turn the DeLorean back into a car and drive there. Actually, you don't have to go all the way that far.
Yeah,
you just need to burn the the almanac. Literally anywhere.
Yep.
But whatever. You can do it in the DeLorean. Just stop the car. Biff isn't following you anymore. He got stopped by the manure.
Yeah, exactly. Biff was not following him. They literally could have dropped down as soon as they left there.
Yeah. Like, they don't need to be doing... But, I mean, again, it sets up for the third movie.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
Sure, I mean, and I get that, setting it up for the next movie and stuff. But, like, damn, man, if you're having to make plot holes and shit in your movie to make the next movie, like...
Yeah, because, like, even... Well, and, like, I know Doc was supposed to be fixing the circuits, the time circuits, because they were having an issue with it. Which is interesting because there was not an issue in the first movie. So sometime between the first one and the second one, the time circuits became a problem. Now, obviously, he didn't get a chance to fix it because Marty called him on those walkie-talkies, which I assume Doc got in the future because there's no way in hell. Like, I remember having walkie-talkies in the 90s, and those things could barely go 5 feet.
That range was absurd.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Even like some of the modern ones right now have like a 3-mile range.
Right. So like whatever
we had them when the kids were little.
Those were just cell phones. Those were just like 80s cell phones. Yeah.
Basically. So whatever future technology that those were from, regardless, yeah, he wasn't able to fix the actual time circuits because Marty called him to do nothing. And what's really interesting is Doc made it a point in the very beginning that, hey, do not meet yourself. Like, if you come in contact, if you come across your future past self, if you meet yourself on this timeline, there will be problems. Jennifer meets herself. Doc meets himself. Marty sort of meets himself a few different times. Sort of.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so this I can kind of explain. Doc's whole thing was, we don't know what will happen. We can only assume the worst. And I think the theory is like, if you ran into yourself, your past self is gonna want to know information from the future version of you. So the past version of you should not get that information because then that will affect the timeline.
Okay.
So but the point is that he never knows what could happen. It could cause catastrophic things because it could, a butterfly's wings change different in the past, and all of a sudden we're all speaking Portuguese or whatever, right? Yeah. So like, that's like, I think more the theory. Doc just does a really bad job of ever explaining that because he's just so fucking panicked all the time that you just have like no idea, honestly, what he's trying to say.
That's fair.
Okay, that's fair.
Because I think he himself doesn't know, and he's like panicking in the moment. But I will say this about that: throughout this entire movie, Doc with Doc, when Marty's in like Biff's car hiding, air quotes, this is wife cheating on husband porn levels of obliviousness of things happening around you. Like, Marty is not doing a good job of hiding in Biff's car, yet Biff doesn't know that there's a human body underneath a blanket in the back of his car that he looks at, touches, throws some paint on, or oil cans.
And dude, I'm sorry, but there's no way that Marty got hit in the dick with 5 cans of oil and did not make a noise underneath.
I really thought it was the stomach, but yeah, either one.
Either way, I mean, that was the breadbasket for sure, regardless.
Yeah.
When Doc's interacting with Doc, neither of them are he's not doing a great job of, making sure that his profile isn't seen. It's almost like he wanted to get caught. It was like what it felt like. He was just like, I'm trying to not.
But here's the thing, though. The other Doc, the 55 Doc, didn't actually look at the 85 Doc. 85 Doc.
There was a moment where he does turn his face.
He actually doesn't.
Because Doc pulls the hat and covers his face.
Well, I mean, that's in the beginning. Like when he's like, "Hey, can you give me this tool?" And he turns around, sees him after he like looks back up, and that's when he pulls his hat back, and then he starts backing up. Oh, don't you mean the 3/4? And it's like, oh yeah, you're right. And then the whole conversation, 55 Doc is looking up the entire time, and then 85 Doc is looking at the weather vane. Like they do a really bad job actually talking to each other. And I noticed that the entire time with that conversation, the Biff conversation, old Biff and 55 young Biff, do a fairly better job talking to each other, but they don't actually look at each other at times. Like there's times when like young Biff is being very like, he looks at old Biff and then's like, okay, cool, butthead, and like looks off, like kind of just does whatever. That is some of my and I don't know if it's just them trying to, because you don't have, I feel like in the 80s you didn't do a lot of filming with yourself. Like they didn't, I don't know if they had their body doubles there and they just didn't have a good recording thing with that. I mean, compared to nowadays where you would have the stand-in there and you would talk to them, see them, look at them, and then you would film the scene, reverse it again. Like they do a better job at it nowadays. I don't know if they were doing it how they were doing it back then. It just seemed like the way they filmed it wasn't good, if that makes sense. It just seemed like the way that they were filming each other. They did a bad job on their eyesight. Sight line. There we go. Sight line.
Line of sight.
Either way, words are hard.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Thank you.
Well, see, and I think back then what they used to do is they would film one guy in the car. He'd do all of his lines,
and they would have like a ball or something. They wouldn't have a person.
Well, they would switch them. Like, so he'd put on his makeup, be the old guy. He'd be in the other side of the car. He'd say all of his lines. And then they'd take those two things of film and set them on top of each other.
Well, yeah. But like they would have, instead of having a person, which they should, it'd be better to have a person to actually play off of. Like they do now. They would have like a ball, or they would have something. Or maybe they don't even do that. Maybe they do just do.
I would say they would do the ball and stuff when they would CGI things over it. So you'd have somewhere to look. But since this wasn't CGI'd, since I'm pretty sure this was just film splicing,
yes.
I think that it's just, that's wise because although you should know it, like if I were to look over, I'd know exactly where to look at my own self in the eyes because
you should. Yeah. Yeah. Cause then even in the future, when you get to the McFly house, Michael J. Fox is playing old Marty, young Marty, and daughter.
The daughter.
Yeah.
Right?
So he's playing 3 roles in that scene.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Yeah, Parkinson's really fucked his acting career up, huh?
There was a something I read that apparently between this movie and or the first one and the second one, the Parkinson's really messed up. What early signs of Parkinson's was really messing up his ability to skateboard. And they didn't realize that. They just thought because it'd been so long between, he had just kind of forgot how to.
Gotcha.
But apparently it just was actual early signs of Parkinson's. They didn't realize it.
It is crazy watching these movies and then watching like Spin City when his Parkinson's really starts to like
really kicks
be
off,
noticeable. Yeah.
That was what, early 90s, like 92, 93? Or was that mid 90s?
No, it was like mid 90s.
Mid 90s, yeah.
Okay.
It was like, I want to say like 95, 96, 97. And then 98 is when Charlie Sheen comes in.
That sounds right.
Yeah, something like
Charlie
that.
Sheen was on that show?
Yeah, he finishes out. Yeah, he finishes out the last 2 seasons, I think.
Okay, 96 is when it started.
Was it really?
6 seasons long. So it went to 2002. Oh wow.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah. I know Michael J. Fox does at least 4 seasons.
Okay.
And then the last 2 I think are Sheen. Because that would have put it at what, 96 to
That would be
02?
2000. Yeah, 02 was the end of it.
So, and then when does 2.5 Men start?
No, hold on.
Because I think he leaves. I think he leaves and
03.
leaves. And yeah, so I think he gets greenlit for 2.5 Men, and that's why Spin City dies. Because
Okay.
if I'm not mistaken, 2.5 Men takes that slot.
That's time slot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that went on for 12 seasons.
Until
And
he
then,
got kicked off that, and they brought
yeah,
Ashton Kutcher.
Ashton Kutcher came on the last like 5, 6 or something like that.
Is that many? Wow, I didn't even think he made it that long, but maybe.
I mean, I don't remember exactly how many, but I know it was a minute.
What a bunch of horrible people that are in Hollywood, man! Holy shit, Sheen, Kutcher, crazy.
John Cryer's cool.
Who?
Yeah, he's all right.
John Cryer, 2.5 Men, the brother.
Oh, okay.
I do like him.
We saw him in Superman 4.
Yeah.
The Quest for Peace.
Yep, he was Lex Luthor's nephew.
Oh.
He's also Lex Luthor in the Arrowverse.
Oh yeah. I never got that far into it.
Yeah. Or Supergirl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just know.
I thought it was good.
I just know that he is the Lex Luthor for that because there's like a clip that I saw of him talking to Clark from Smallville.
Yeah, that was part of the Christ on Infinite Earth crossover. Yeah, he was all like, "You gave up being a superhero for kids. You're a dumbass." Basically, it's like, yeah, no, I'm whatever, dude.
And then he decks him because he's like, yeah, just because I'm not a superhero doesn't mean I'm not stronger than you are.
It's like I'd still work on a farm, you idiot.
Which, if you think about it, that had to have been a real shift in like actually working.
Oh yeah, well, but considering the Clark on Smallville, he's had numerous times where he lost his powers and still had to do the work on the farm. So it wasn't that big of a shift.
Wait, the Superman in Smallville decides he just wants to be a normal dude and doesn't become Superman?
He marries Lois and has kids in Smallville. That's how the story ends for the most part, yeah.
All right.
That's the story that during the Crisis crossover for the Arrowverse, that's what they said.
That's whack. All right.
Yeah, well.
Anyway, Back to the Future.
Do I have? Oh, okay. So there is this scene in the alternate timeline where it got cut out, which is interesting. It's part of the deleted scenes where Marty goes to Biff's casino, and he sees Dave, his brother. Dave got thrown out from the casino, and he's basically talking to Dave. And Dave is drunk, and he's just kind of like whatever. He wants some money and stuff. And Dave and Marty's just like, "What is going on? Where's mom? Where's dad?" And Dave's just like, "What do you mean? Where's dad? Like, are you dumb, or basically what's going on with you? Like, your dad's where he's always been. You dummy." And mom, she's in there. And then that's when he leaves and goes goes up to the TV to watch the video. What's also interesting is that guard, I didn't know, like he calls Biff's team. And what's really interesting to me is, like, did he call the team because it was Marty, or did he call the team because it was somebody loitering watching the video? Which is like, why have the video outside if somebody's loitering? But whatever. But that also, what really gets me is that taking that scene out really kind of defeats the purpose when Marty is talking to his mom, saying, "Where's Dad? Why won't anybody give me a straight answer?" Because at that point in time, watching the movie straightforward, he's only ever asked his mom where his dad is at, and no one's told him.
Mm-hmm.
So I do kind of, I don't know why they took that scene. I mean, I guess there really is no point in having it, but it does add to him asking about his father. And apparently the whole reason why they brought in George McFly being dead was because Crispin Glover did not want to do a sequel. So they're like, all right, cool. We're going to kill you off. So,
Makes
I
sense.
mean, at least it makes sense for the movie too.
correct.
Like,
Yeah.
That it was Biff murdered him, right? He admits that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He 100%
okay.
says that.
All right.
And then he even says that he paid off the cops to cover it
Right,
up.
because he owns the cops. So here's the thing that I'm curious about is I know he paid off the cops, but if I know anything from my casino management days, the house never likes to lose. And if you suspect a guy who weirdly keeps winning every bet that he puts on, they for sure are gonna fucking kill you, dude.
Right?
Yeah. How he made it this far and got like unless he only made a few really smart bets and then invested all that money into like questionable things.
But we're talking about Biff here.
Yeah.
I know. So I was just like that. Weirdly enough, that was a part where I went, "This is unrealistic." Like that was a thing that made me upset and angry for whatever reason.
No, that's fair because definitely, like he would have bet on the wrong side of like some bookie or mobster or something, and
Yeah.
then
For
tossed
sure.
out the garbage.
Like if he was smart, he would have won like 5 and then lost like 2 or 3.
Yep.
And
It's
then
Biff, and he doesn't lose.
exactly. Yes, exactly. But like if he was smart, he would have done that. That way to be like, hey, I can't always win. But that's a smart thing to do. Like and maybe he did. Maybe he
the other thing we're
proved-
missing here
What's that?
is there would have definitely been like somebody after Biff's first like 5 to 10 big wins, they would have just started betting on everything that he bet on.
True.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
somebody would have started doing that if they would have seen that he was the lucky guy. Like, and then everybody would have started winning. And then once everybody would have started winning, we'd be back to Chuck's thing of Biff would have been.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of weird. Also, the other takeaway, although I think now that I remember that it's different timelines. Instead of having to go back to 1955 to get the almanac and go through this Wile E. Coyote level of scheming to also try to reset a bunch of stuff and potentially make things 1,000 times worse, like Marty does, could they not have just gone back an hour in 1915 or in 2015 and just stopped Biff from getting the almanac?
As soon as
No.
they would have traveled in time from that point, it would have taken them to the alternate timeline.
Yeah. Because they're already in
Okay.
the alternate timeline. Which again doesn't make sense because Biff going back to the past, he should not have been able to come back to that future.
Correct.
So
That
they
is-
would have been stuck in the future.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that timeline like wouldn't have existed anymore,
Exactly.
I guess.
Yeah. The minute Biff grabbed that almanac
But-
and went to the past, they were gone. They were done.
But not only that, like, yeah, Marty would have disappeared, which means that, and Jennifer would have disappeared
Mm-hmm.
because they would have never been able to be there to be the future selves
Yeah,
that they were.
Well,
No,
yeah, no, you're right. Marty would not have been.
which
there.
means that their whole family basically, except for the mom and dad, would have disappeared.
Well, Dad would have disappeared because he'd been dead.
Well, no, I mean, I'm talking about like as soon as Biff went back in time, because they would have been stranded in that current future time. But that means that their past selves would have never actually been back there to start their future.
But that's the thing. That means, like, if the theory of Doc saying them changing the past and it warping around Jennifer and Einstein, them being in the future and Biff going back in the past and changing it, the future should have warped around them.
True.
So that means that George McFly would have been dead. That means Marty would have been a rich kid, a bratty kid, probably on the street because he would have been kicked off of whatever money Biff had. Lorraine would have been wherever, maybe dead in the gutter because
Probably
shoot
dead.
up with heroin. Yeah. Jennifer would have been who knows where. So, yeah, like Hill Valley would have been completely different. Doc would have been in an insane asylum. So, like, in theory, that future would not have existed. That future should have warped around them while they were there.
Yep.
And I thought this movie was good.
So what we really need?
It's still a good movie. It's still fun.
We need a reboot of this where they actually follow like logical time variant stuff, and like completely, it would just be funny as hell that they just keep like ruining things. And have you ever seen the thing where the dude makes the time machine where you can go back a minute in time, and he's like,
wasn't that a Futurama episode?
Oh, I don't know. I just saw like a little video of it. Like a dude did like a YouTube video or whatever, where like he's sitting there talking to a girl on a bench, and he's like, "Yeah."
Oh yes.
And then he finds out that like every time that he goes to the future, his other self dies or whatever. And
and so he's going to alternate universes every time, and the other universe, like the person just is dead, and it's a dead person next to this girl.
Yeah.
Yep. Fucking great. I love that.
I've not seen that.
That's a fun one.
I'll have to see if I can find it. I'll send it to you.
Could have swore that was in the group chat.
It probably was.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean everybody pays attention, though.
That's also a good point.
Yo, that group chat gets fucking annihilated
Man,
with videos sometimes, and I just
look.
I
hey,
don't have the
shout out to Will. Shout out to Will because he is fucking like on it.
Between Will and Ken, like there's videos nonstop now. And I mean, obviously you too there, Ron, but like there's videos nonstop now, and I'm like, I can't watch all this shit. What the hell? I literally like go through and pick and choose which ones I watch anymore.
Specifically, shout out to Will, who still replies to every single thing that anybody says.
Yes, he does.
He's a stay-at-home dad, so he doesn't have a lot going on sometimes. Yeah.
Oh man, that's good though. I mean, lucky him. I think. I don't know. How old are his kids?
That's a great question. I think they're like 7-ish, 8-ish, something like that.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's not bad then.
Yeah. He's like ex-military, and now he just kind of does odd jobs, and he's been fixing up his house and stuff. He's a carpenter.
Okay.
Throw shoes at people and stuff.
Yeah, he does do that.
Or is that no? That's a random task. Odd job is the hat, isn't it?
There you go. I got a couple of notes left here. So apparently going back to 1955 is the only time the DeLorean ever gets iced up. Anytime going into any other time period, never gets iced up.
Yep. Well, no, it did when what's his face brought it back.
No, it did not.
Oh, I thought it was icy when he brought it back to the future.
Nope, it did not.
Oh,
it's very. It was kind of annoying, actually. I was very impressed with Biff when Strickland got a hold of him, and he was able to get the dust jacket off of the almanac and put it onto the Ooh La La magazine.
Yeah,
behind his back.
Yeah,
that was very impressive. And how is it that Biff is the only one that can start his own car? Like, if that's the case, how is he not fixing his own car?
Exactly.
I can tell you why. He never actually bought that car. He hotwires it because he stole the car.
That I
would
believe.
make sense.
Yes. That I believe 100%.
Because he definitely reaches underneath the steering wheel to start it.
Yes, he
That
does.
is also true. Yeah.
I guarantee you he doesn't have the keys to that car. Yep.
Yeah, I can see that. Ron, you got anything else?
I did enjoy the line where Marty says to Doc, like, "Oh, there's Biff, we got to get in front of him," and he's just like, "That's a 44 Ford, so it's like that would tear us apart. What are you talking about?"
Because it's
It's
from
like-
the 1950s. Those things were made to take a hit. Those things
Yeah,
were
they
actually made of actual steel and metal versus
Yeah.
like cars in the 80s and
Fiberglass and shit, you know.
nowadays. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the DeLorean was all steel, but like that's just
Well,
stainless steel on the outside. My only other note was Marty, whether it's past Marty, present Marty, or future Marty, spends a lot of time checking out his mom. Like,
Yeah.
he spends a lot of time checking out his mom.
Yeah, he was staring a little too long at her boobs.
Yeah.
Even though they looked great, shot out.
Big.
Once again, body shaming. It's ridiculous.
I don't think it was body shaming that. He was more like, I think he was getting turned on.
Probably.
This
is actually Back to the Future 2 is where we get that College Humor video from, where the Martys keep coming back to 1950s to fuck their mom.
I mean, technically it's, maybe.
Anyways, what were you gonna say, Jay?
So I know that there's a video out there explaining how Marty actually died numerous times in this movie and how Doc kept going back in the past to save him. I meant to look it up, but specifically, there is the moment in the alternate timeline when Marty jumps off of Biff's building. Doc wasn't there in time to save Marty, so he jumps back like a minute to get there in time to save him, basically like Rick and Morty style, to save Marty from falling to his death.
Mm-hmm.
And then also at the tunnel when Biff is about ready to literally run him down with the hoverboard, and he gets there just in time with the rope and pulls him up. The theory goes that Doc didn't get there in time, and he has to go back in time to get there in time.
That's what we need, is a story from Doc's perspective.
Where he has
instead
to
of
do
following Marty around, we only follow Doc around.
I mean, I'm up for it. I mean, that's something you can do in like comic book form or even like
True
animated form. Be fun to see. Chuck, you got anything else?
No. Brought up my 2015. Brought up the people being completely oblivious to porno style. No, I think those were kind of my two big things.
Okay. Alrighty.
Okay, I will say this before we get into scores and stuff. 2015 still looked fucking awesome, right? Like, the hoverboards were fucking dope. The styles were cool. Like, again, this movie does a thing that I love a lot, which is what the 80s thought the future was going to be like was so rad and cool. And I really wish that it was true.
You know what the problem is? I'll give you a hint.
Doc Brown went back in time to stop Mr. Fusion from blowing up. Yeah.
No, the reason why we didn't get a cool 80 or cool
it's going to be Reagan. It's going to be Reagan.
Well, yeah, 100%. It's Ronald Reagan.
Yeah.
That's exactly why. He fucking put a stop to everything good because he's a piece of shit. And I would take a time machine to go back and punch him in the face. I remember I saw a video that was like, is it immoral to buy a painting from the guy that tried to assassinate Ronald Reagan? And this lady's like, yes, it is, because he missed.
I sent that to the voice chat. That was me.
Yeah.
I love that
Uh,
video.
Damn it.
My mom did not find it as funny as we did, but I thought it was very funny.
Works for me.
Just maybe she'll get dementia and think that it's funny later on. Who knows?
She probably won't remember, but it's fine.
Alrighty. So I've got a total of 3 for our kill count. Old Biff, because when he comes back, this is another deleted scene, but we actually do see him disappear. Like after he leaves the DeLorean and he falls over,
Yeah.
You see him disappear. I remember watching that as a kid on a like 2020 thing back in the day, and I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Why is that not in the movie? So like that. So that's one thing that always stuck with me, and I don't remember where 2 and 3 came from.
Were you counting all the times that Marty died?
I mean, maybe.
Well, so
honestly,
I
maybe I did count the guys getting killed. I don't know.
I was gonna say that's one kill because I looked it up, and if those were 80-pound bags falling at even like 5 miles an hour, it would be enough to break a human neck, which is what exactly like not a skull. It's not gonna fracture a skull. Fun fact: it takes 1,100 pounds of pressure to crack a human skull.
That makes sense because I have seen people get stepped on by like bulls and shit, and they get up and walk away. So
Yeah, but it's like your neck. That's what actually kills you, right? Because your neck is actually super fragile. So, in the wise words of Wu-Tang Clan, protect your neck. That being said, if 80 pounds, because those were 5 or 10-pound bags, probably 10-pound sandbags. There was at least 8 of them there, although they were flinging them around like they weighed nothing, which I thought was kind of funny.
I mean,
that would have easily killed them.
When Marty like jumped down, he lifted them up. So like, if Marty weighs what, $150?
Marty probably weighs about 140 pounds, and then
but you have to remember he's grabbing it and jumping.
Yeah.
So you have to incorporate the weight of gravity.
Yeah, but then he's standing there holding it. Like he's holding it for a minute.
You don't think he's not strong enough?
Well, what I'm saying is that he's weighing it down and holding it. So
but for that to weigh enough to slow him down enough to not break his legs jumping from there, they had to have weighed at least half of his weight. So we put him at, again, like Chuck said, about 80 pounds, give or take.
Yeah.
And yeah, they would have fucking killed those guys.
Yeah, I would say Marty was $150 soaking wet.
Okay.
Yeah. He had a swimmer body.
Did we have a limb count on that?
Nah, no limbs.
No limbs. What about all the trees that Marty took out with his legs?
No.
It's only one limb because it's only one attack.
Sure. Yeah, I really don't know why I had 3 on here. I don't remember why I have 3 on here. I'm sure it was something.
Did you count George dying?
I might have. That'd be 2 at least. Maybe I did count the 3 guys. I must have.
Maybe. Because it would have been one attack, so it would have been one.
Yeah, exactly. Death. So I must have.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So look, I guess I was already counting it and didn't even really realize it. I don't know. I watched this the other day, and I've done like 3 other podcasts since then. So
it's true.
Yeah.
All right, on to bingo.
All right, we have comic logic, unexplainable science, ID revealed to an enemy, product placement, meme origins, dead parents, and implied nudity.
All right.
Because when Biff's in the hot tub with the 2 girls, they're definitely supposed to be naked.
Yeah. Yeah. That is true.
Because if you're in the hot tub with 2 chicks and you're not naked, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Chuck, spawn cape?
So, okay. There were a couple of scenes in here where I looked at it and said, yikes. When he's using the hoverboard in the tunnel in the past, it was like they went to claymation for his legs of watching of like him like like doing the push off like a skateboard. It looked really weird. It was like was like a shot of his legs with the brick wall behind him. And it looked super weird and like out of place, and it was like poorly lit. It was very strange in comparison to what the rest of the tunnel looks like. Um, but I think overall, I think this is probably on par with the first one.
They did a lot of practical effects on this one, as much as they could.
And he wasn't standing directly in any fire this time, so that was good.
That's always a bonus.
Yeah. He didn't Darkman 3 Darkman die himself, so that was good. I'm gonna say probably similar score of like 17 out of 350,000. I think it still holds up. Practical effects are fine.
That's fair.
Yeah, I didn't hate it. I thought it was okay.
So,
not a Muppet.
Not a Muppet. I would make an argument for Biff. Now, hear me out.
That's who I thought also.
Hear me out. Biff in 1955 is not a Muppet, but he turns into a Muppet. So in 85, we see him like half a Muppet, and then in 2015, he's fully a Muppet.
See, mine was Biff, just for the fact that I think it would be funny. Well, so it would be anybody that Biff plays. So Biff and Griff and old man Biff, but they're all the only not a Muppet, which is why they're the biggest bully, because they can literally just toss everybody around.
Yeah.
Right. And I think it would be funny as hell to see, a Muppet kick a dude in the nuts and like him trying to get in like the Muppet car to steal it and shit like that.
That actually would be kind of funny.
Chuck?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, okay. I would also say Marty and Janet's daughter. just that. Just
this Marty dress.
Yeah, because it's so freakishly weird anyway that it being a Muppet would make it normal, and I don't want that.
The whole time, why were his eyes like this the whole time he was playing the girl?
No idea.
It was weird.
No idea.
It was very strange.
Yeah. See, cross-dressing right there, guys. And it's part of our culture, and it's been part of our culture forever. Everybody, all the boomers love Back to the Future. Like, come on.
That is true.
I mean, yeah, you ever go to like a VFW and put on Benny Hill? They fucking think that shit's the funniest thing they've ever seen.
Uh-huh.
What about like some Looney Tunes? Bugs Bunny cross-dressed all the time.
That's true. That's true. They actually found him attractive. So
that's true. Right? I would have banged him.
Just saying. All right. So on to our score. Chuck, out of 10, what you got?
All right. So is this as good as the first one? No. I will say that much.
I thought this was your favorite one, Chuck.
I'm not done. Is this as good as the first one? No. I think the story gets a little lost in the sauce. It feels very weird and convoluted, and they make more problems for themselves than they need to. With that being said, I still like this movie like a lot, and I still think I like it better than the first one because of all of the stuff in 2015. I think that shit is awesome. I think it looks cool now. Yeah, sure, we didn't get nearly any of that stuff. We got the shoes. We got the shoes.
Yeah.
That none of us were actually able to buy because they all went up on auction and were immediately like $2,500 a pair or some shit.
Yeah. Weird, right?
Yeah, weird how that works. But that being said,
thanks, Nike.
The shoes were dope. I think everything about. I love the hoverboard. I love the Pitbull hoverboard. And that you can have your buddies hold on. That was
and the little girl steals it at the end. It's just hilarious.
Apparently, that was supposed to be like his case that was in. is supposed to be like a mad dog pit bull case or whatever, which was supposed to be a reference to his ancestor for the third one, Mad Dog Tannen.
Oh,
So
there's a couple of
Fun little
of
Easter egg.
references in this. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
there's
Well,
a bunch
again,
of references.
because they're filming this when they're doing the third one. Zemeckis is like, look, if we're doing a sequel, let's do 2 sequels. Also, apparently, Universal was trying to market this as a independent, like a move, not independent, but like a standalone movie. And Zemeckis is like, no, not going to happen. Especially when he puts "to be concluded" at the end, and it so Zemeckis and Universal were having problems. Shocker. Directors and companies butting heads. That never happens in Hollywood.
Poor Zack Snyder. You know what I mean? That being said, I still I unapologetically love this movie a little bit more.
Yeah.
I think the story gets a little weird, but I still love it. I'm gonna say I think I gave the original one was like a 9.2 or something.
9.29.
Was it 9.29?
Yeah.
Okay, then I will say I'll say a 9.31. It's like it is kind of like 1A for me on these two movies, but
sure.
I don't know. The future, I was just like I still remember watching it. Oh, we got the hat. We got his hat too. You can get that on Temu for like dirt cheap now.
I kind of want that jacket. I'm not gonna lie. Like to be able to
adjust
yourself
off.
Dries yourself off. That's fucking awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah. 9.31. It's I still love this movie.
Yeah. Ron, what you got?
So this is the most convoluted, ridiculous back and forth storyline of the 3 movies. I've always felt that the second one was the least put together one, like as far as storyline goes and plot goes and stuff. And I always hated the jumping into so many different times in it, mostly because especially when I was a little kid when I first watched this, because I was a little kid when I first watched this, I was like, I don't understand why the same people keep showing up in the different times, but they're the same exact people. That was, to me, I was just like, this is ridiculous. Why didn't they have like other people? But this one has always been the one that I haven't really liked. And I just, it's okay. It's all right. But like, I gave it a 6.05. Because well, I mean, I will definitely watch it again because you can't watch the movies without, watching all 3
I mean,
of
you
them.
kind of need to watch this one to watch the third one. Like, you really can't go into 1 and then 3. So,
what about you, Joey?
Do they explain how Marty gets back and everything in the third one?
Back.
The movie ends with him still in 1955.
Yeah.
In the second one? Yeah.
Yeah, so in the third one, he runs to get the DeLorean before Doc sends his old self back.
Okay, so what it is
wait. Here, we'll find this out when we watch the next.
Yeah,
one.
we'll watch it next month. I just couldn't remember if they just like said fuck it or if they actually explain how everybody gets back to where they need to be so they can go to.
Yes, they do explain. Everything does get explained away.
Okay,
but yeah, that's the one thing we well, sort of gets explained away. That's one thing we didn't really talk about. Marty showing up at the end, kind of also fucks up the timeline a little bit because on this timeline, Doc, he sends that Marty back to 1985, and now he is supposed to go and live his life, waiting for Marty to come back, and now here comes Marty, the Marty he had already sent. Well, a different Marty because it's a new timeline, you know? So like
Technically,
everything
it's still
is
the same Marty.
no, it's a different Marty because we're in a new timeline, remember?
Oh, that's true.
So like I meant to actually like do a diagram and everything, but I got busy doing other podcasts today and I totally forgot. Maybe I'll have a diagram drawn.
Oh,
up
you're
for
on
the
another
third one.
podcast, Joey?
I'm on multiple different podcasts. Did you know? Way too
Well,
many.
you should plug them at the end of the show.
Maybe I won't. So I gave this. I really like this one. I do like this one. But I'm also with you, Ron. Like this is definitely my least favorite of the three. And talking with this now, working through it this time, realizing that there is problems with it, like realizing that Biff going back in the past and changing it ultimately means that Doc and Marty should not have been able to get back in the past. Like their future is done. There's no way they could have gone back. That's a big glaring problem. But
the other problem would be if Doc Brown was in the insane asylum, he would have never developed the time machine in the first place. Which means that Biff would have never been able to go back to give him his old self the.
Well, yes, but that time. Sure.
Technically, this entire movie wouldn't have happened if Doc had just minded his own goddamn business and didn't worry about fucking Marty's kids for no fucking reason.
That's
We
also
still
true.
don't know what they did. We don't know what they actually
Well,
caused.
Marty
It was kind of B&E.
Yeah, Marty was going to break into something. That's the other thing. Like Griff gets arrested for busting the museum, although which is hilarious because there's a cop standing on the steps of the city hall or whatever, watching Griff and his goons getting ready to like take a bat to Marty and just gonna watch it happen.
Ain't nothing happened till there's makes contact, buddy. Otherwise,
Basically,
you got to remember, Griff and his friends are, white kids. That cop's not going to do anything.
Yeah, but the minute they break that glass,
that's because they ruined something that was a
historical
rich
landmark.
Money.
It was a historic landmark. Yes.
Cops' primary job is to protect property.
Yeah, You're not wrong. So I do enjoy the movie, and anytime I watch this trilogy, I have to watch the second one. There are problems with it, but going to the future, seeing the future stuff is fun. Seeing the alternate timeline is fine. Going back in the past and seeing it play out again, seeing from a different angle is also fun. It's still a fun movie. I gave this an 8.75. Like I said, it's still the least favorite of the three movies, but it still is a fun movie. So that gives us a combined score of 8.04, which out of 158 movies drops it in at number 12. Just behind V for Vendetta with an 8.16, and just above Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, at an 8.03.
Yeah, I still don't know how that one ended up so high.
It's a good movie.
There's 4 of us.
That too.
You know what? The one thing I did like about this movie, is that when they go back to the timeline where Biff is rich and stuff, it's become a purge planet, and I really like that, and I think that's really funny. Yeah, that was a nice little. I now realize that I know Rick and Morty's whole thing was that they were making fun of the purge, but the fact that they kind of also made fun of this. Good. The second they all had guns and stuff, I just went, it's a purge planet.
The tank out of nowhere, like, okay, what the hell?
You know what I like about this movie? Joey just got one of his strikes taken off because that was a high score.
5.
So yeah.
So apparently I still have a half strike though.
You still have a strike.
Because I like having Chuck on the show, so Joey needs to do better so that we don't lose Chuck.
I mean,
Well, if I ever do leave the show, you can find me over at Kicked Out of the Hood, No Ian Kicked. You can find my hobby page, Kicked Out of the Hobby, No Ian Kicked. Or Kicked Out of the Hobby, No Ian Kicked. That's right.
Yeah, you said it right. You did a good
I
job,
said it
buddy.
right. Thank
Very
you.
good.
And more importantly, you can see me at the end of every month, right here on this feed, on the Comic Rundown feed. Joey and I do a little show, drop to you a little tasty end of the month treat for you on a Sunday.
just know that if you ever leave the show, Getting Franchise is still happening. He hasn't left that
Oh
show.
yeah,
That's
no.
That's his show.
I'll come back for once a month. That's not a problem for me. Yeah, man, it's Getting Franchise. It's the latest and greatest in movie franchises, where Joey and I watch 2 movies from the same franchise, the latest and perceivably the greatest, and then we fucking talk about it. And every once in a while I got notes, and then sometimes Ron's on, which is pretty rad. We love when Ron comes on because then we get art for our t-shirts, which is pretty great. Hey, at time of this being released, I think we just had Pet Sematary come out.
I believe so. Yes.
That's great. What a great episode.
Later this month will be the one with Ron on, talking about Blood and Honey, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, and Popeye the Slayer Man.
Hey, guess what? Collectively, that's 2 months of really shitty movies we watched. But we had a lot of fun.
I just listened to the
Dawn of the Dead?
Dawn of the Dead episodes.
Yeah.
And wow.
I guess this month would be Pet Sematary.
Yeah, this month
is Pet Sematary. Next month is
right.
Yeah, we're a little early. Whatever.
Hey, just get ready.
Yeah. Be prepared.
Watch 4 movies.
We record those early, okay? I don't know what is what anymore. I need to write that shit down.
Yeah, that's super fair.
Have you ever thought about just like keeping them in like
they're in order, notebook? But the problem is what I have them saved at, the file, is just Getting a Franchised 8, not Getting Franchised what they're titled. I title them when I upload them.
Gotcha. So like, let's say you had a list of movies that you would watch for Getting Franchised.
We
right?
do. They're not in order.
They're not in order. They're not in order. Okay.
Yeah,
I just look at the list and go, what the fuck do I actually want to watch this month? Yeah, that's usually what it is. We just bounce around like crazy.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, you also got to figure out, like what movies we're going to be watching for this, so that you can decide how bad of a movie you're willing to watch.
Yeah.
That would make the most sense. So we don't have Fist of the North Star and Pet Sematary weekend again.
God, that was a bad weekend. Anyway,
Ron, you listened to the episode? What did you think?
I love listening to you guys talk. I love listening to Chuck rant about shit like some dumb bitch and her dog.
She's the dumbest bitch. I don't know what you want from me.
I had a headphone in at work when you started ranting about that, and I'm like, nope. I had to pause it and switch over to music so I could sit in my car on my way home and listen to it, so I could listen to everything that you said. Because
was I wrong? Was I wrong?
No,
I am not wrong.
You are not wrong, dude. You said, like, when I watched that movie, I was like, what the fuck is she doing?
Yeah, she fucks the entire thing. Go check out the archives of our Dawn of the Dead episode so you all understand that Zack Snyder does not know how to direct women, and understand that she is just the dumbest bitch who gets everybody killed in the end. So.
Yes, I'll give you that.
All right, so Joey, did you watch the video that Chuck sent us about the Snyderverse?
I watched one of them. He told me not to watch the other one.
Where the guys were absolutely just like shitting on like
shout out to the cutscene, baby.
Shitting on the fans of Zack Snyder who were like,
can you imagine being a Snyder bro?
There's a difference between Snyder Bros and people that actually like Snyder movies. There's a difference. Like the Snyder Bros are like all up his ass. They want.
You know what?
They're the ones right now. They're the ones right now who are like, oh, the why don't we just get Henry Cavill back as Superman? Just go watch the goddamn Superman movie that's coming out at time of recording this week. Just give David Cornsweet a chance, you fuckers.
They're already giving it like a 1-star review.
Exactly.
As
Like, just give the motherfucker a chance.
Listen,
Jesus
we
fucking
all
Christ.
know that Joey has a body pillow of Zack Snyder that he cuddles every night.
I
But
do.
he would never.
So the flip side of that is actually Ben Affleck Batman.
That's true. Yeah.
Yep.
But he would never give a 1-star review for a movie he's never seen yet.
That's
He's
I
waiting.
give my
He's
opinion
waiting
after
to
I
see
watch
it.
the
Joey
movie.
has class.
That's right. He's gonna wait to give it a 1-star review.
Exactly.
I appreciate that about him.
Well, you can hear you can go back to my episode on DC Alliance covering that. Go listen to my review on that a month ago. But
In the future,
You know what? I'm going to.
yeah, it'll be time of us recording. It's going to be this Friday, but yeah,
Right.
record it live.
Love that for you, buddy.
doing
Anyway.
it live.
Anyway,
Ron.
Ronald, where can I find you?
You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky at Good at This Game. You can find my art on Instagram at Good Art This Game, and you can also find it on our shirts on TeePublic and Redbubble.
Yeah.
And you can find me right here on this fantastic podcasting platform. Joey?
You guys can find the show on all the socials, Comic Book Rundown. Email us, comicbookrundown@gmail.com. We've got merch at Redbubble and TeePublic, or like Ron said, we've got getting franchises in
I
the
even
month.
said them right.
You did. We've got getting franchise at the end of the month, like Chuck said. We've got Comic Book Rundown itself last Friday of every month. Well, last Friday every like 3 months, and then the break, and then 3 months, and then the break. I believe at the end of this month. Hold on. Math is hard. Yeah, I think at the end of this month, Ron and I will be covering a book. I think it's this month. I don't know. We'll see.
Is that the Grim Fairy Tales one?
Yeah. I think it's this month.
You
I
should
don't
let
remember.
me know when
What's
you're
so
going to
hard?
review something like a year and a half from now, and then I'll come on because I'll maybe have a book read by then. Because it takes me about a year and a half to finish a book.
Chuck, are you over there huffing glue?
The problem is,
well, it's hot in here, so this Tamina's hitting real hard, man.
the problem is I don't know what I'm covering. Like I'm reading until like 2 months before usually. So
I'm just saying, just pick a title, and then when I have it done, you can then read it in 2 weeks, and then a year and a half from now.
He's got a point there.
I gotta make notes. That's the problem.
Yeah, but I'm saying you pick something now, and a year and a half from now, 2 months before you want to record, then we'll both have finished it.
Well, see, here's the thing. Joey could read it now, take the notes now, tuck them into the book.
I could.
Anyways, Joey,
Yeah,
who did our song?
The song was done by Cam, and yeah, I think that's everything. Our next movie,
Big Ham himself,
will be going back to a franchise we haven't touched in a minute.
My butthole's so tight right now. I'm so nervous.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna be dragging this out, and fuck it. We're gonna be going to be watching The Crow, City of Angels from 1996. So,
oh wow,
yeah, I haven't seen this. I've never seen this one.
I've never seen it either.
I've only
never seen it.
The Crow, the original Crow movie when we watched it here, and then the new one that came out last year.
I've only ever seen the original Crow. I've never seen anything past it.
So 2 things quick. This is the body double or the stuntman now taking over the role.
Is it? Again, I don't know. I've never seen it.
I listen. I'll make wild.
Well, I know it's not Brandon Lee.
You're not wrong there.
No.
I believe I'm wondering if that's the case. And 2, this has nothing to do with the comics anymore.
Let's see.
This was like an original story, but the same guy wrote it.
It's let's see. American superhero film directed by Tim Pope and written by David S. Goyer. It serves as a standalone sequel to The Crow, in addition to being the second installment in the film franchise. The film stars Vincent Perez. Yeah, I don't know if Vincent Perez was he.
Hey, Ben, I don't know.
Yeah,
It'll be
I
very
don't know.
interesting. It'll be very interesting to see what next week brings us because I can't imagine a world where we needed a sequel.
I mean, we get another one
Aren't
after
there like
this too.
4 of them?
Oh, yeah. So we get The Crow Salvation in 2000,
That's
which
what Thomas
has
Jane.
Kristen Dunst in it.
As the Crow?
No, but she's in it. And then
It's from his dead girlfriend's perspective.
and then The Crow
whitewash
Wicked
her.
Prayer in 2005.
One of those has Thomas Jane as the Crow. I just don't know which one.
David
Probably the
Borealis
third
and
one.
Tara Reid. What? Definitely not. And no, I don't know. You're wrong on that. Thomas Jane is not the Crow in any of these.
What?
Did you say
He's the guy
Tara
who plays
Reid?
Yeah, I said Tara Reid. Yeah.
Not Tara.
Is this
Reid.
before or after the boob job?
2005. So I don't know. You figure it out.
That would have been just
After.
before.
No, because
No, before.
Iggy
What?
Pop. What?
It was like 08, 09.
oh, okay. I couldn't remember if it was.
Are you reading the fourth? Maybe the fourth one's an animated thing.
No. Wicked Prayer is live action.
Oh, okay. Sounds like a mess, Joey.
Yeah.
You know what else is a mess?
Scooby Doo.
Trying to figure out which dog solves.
Danny Trejo. Hey, Danny Trejo's in the fourth one.
Oh, we love Danny Trejo. He was in Scooby Doo.